make sure, and there's no filter in, I'm sure. Okay, all right. Reverend Freeney, you just returned from a trip to New York to appear on NBC's America Live program, and you were obviously limited to the amount of time that you had, and we have invited you to be on Alabama Illustrated to perhaps pick up where you left off with the NBC program in your response to sex therapist Dr. Eleanor Hamilton. What would you like to say as far as picking up where you left off?
Well, first of all, Bob, let me say that I appreciate WSFA and you having me on Alabama Illustrated today, and to continue the thought that I wanted to give up there on America Live program. First of all, let me say the language that Dr. Eleanor Hamilton used, and I think that everybody is familiar with, was very offensive to many people. I received, I guess, over 200 phone calls since I've returned to Alabama, and many, many letters expressing this and the time that they gave me up there. But all of this was, as I said, was very offensive to people, and they didn't like it. Now, some of the statistics that I wanted to present up there, which I wasn't given time to, was 21% of all of the children are one-parent children. Now, this means that 1 out of every 5 children the parents are either working, they're not on welfare, but they're out trying to make a living and so forth, and the child is there to watch the television. They're not supervised in what they watch and so forth. And this is a thing that concerns me. And then another statistic that was given on the program, on the Today's program, the morning that I was there, November the 13th, that one of the staff doctors said there's over 11 million teenagers that are sexually active today, and this year over 1 million of them, of the girls, will become pregnant. And so this, I believe, is a concern to many, many people. I think that many people misunderstood why I was there. They thought I was there against everything that Dr. Hamilton had to say. Now, I am not against sex education. I think that it is very much needed today. I think it is needed in the home. This is something that the mother and the father should take care of. In doctor's offices, and at one time on the program I said in schools, but I am not for public sex education, where it's paid for in colleges and so forth. Then I think that our young people need to be educated in this line, but I think they need to be educated in the right way.
Why do you object to public sex education?
Well, this is forcing someone's view on me or my child. Now, if the parents agree on it, then and the person that's teaching it, then that would be between those parents and the teacher. I don't think it should be forced on you or myself or my child or your child or anyone's child in that sense of the word.
Mm-hmm. Now, you said that the statistics perhaps were confusing to the viewers, comparing the statistics that she was giving out, Dr. Hamilton, and those that you were going to present to the audience in New York.
Well, the surveys, now I don't know where she got her information. I don't know whether it was surveys, statistics, or what. But she was talking about the young people. Now, I feel after going to New York and being on the program and meeting Dr. Eleanor Hamilton before the program, I feel like, and this is my own personal observation, that Dr. Hamilton is well, I'll get it out in just a minute, that Dr. Hamilton is a product of her own imagination. Now, the reason I say that, because in her mind, she wants to talk about this, and she does talk about it all the time. But she has no basis, she has no foundation for her thoughts, other than what she feels and what she thinks in her own mind. And we call her an expert. I could be an expert, or you could be an expert. Anyone could be an expert if you come up with some far-out ideas that some people like to hear. And, of course, some people don't like to hear it.
Mm-hmm. What do you see as the solution to this problem from your point of view?
Well, I think that our forefathers came to this country for religious freedom. And as I pointed out on the program, that I have a textbook that if people will go by and they'll follow, they'll read it, and they'll abide by it, they won't have to worry about pregnancy, they won't have to worry about VD, they won't have to worry about these things. Now, the solution, I believe, is returning to the old paths, or returning to the very foundation in which this country was founded. And if we'll do that as people today, and follow the foundation that God has laid down for us in His Word, then we won't have to worry about all this openness. You see, our forefathers, they didn't have this problem. They didn't have the openness that we have today. And when people say, well, openness is good, and we should be open with our children. Now, my wife and I, we had 2 daughters and 1 son. She took care of the daughters, I took care of the son. Why would I, as a father, want to be that open with my daughter when my wife is there to handle the situation?
Perhaps that's not the case in all situations, though.
No, that isn't. There was one man and his daughter on the program that day, I believe, and he was both mother and father, or trying to be both mother and father. I don't think they can do that, but a father cannot be the mother to a daughter.
Mm-hmm. I'd like to touch on the reaction that you've gotten so far. We've talked about what you wanted to say and gotten your message across here tonight. What kind of reaction have you had, and has it been from across the country, and has it been positive or negative?
Well, I would say 99% of the reaction has been positive. I have a phone call as far away as New Mexico. I had one from Tennessee, and several around in Alabama, and letters from all over. I didn't receive not one negative phone call, just one letter, and I think the fellow that wrote the letter I believe was up in Pennsylvania somewhere, misunderstood. He said, we're not in the horse and buggy days, and he was one that thought that I was against everything that Dr. Hamilton said. Now, I am against some of the things she said, but as far as the sex education, I am for that, but not the way she presented it.
Mm-hmm. Reverend Freeney, we'd like to thank you for taking time to come down and talk with us on Alabama Illustrated about your trip to New York, and we wish you the best in your future endeavors.
Thank you, Bob. I appreciate it.
Okay, Stan, you want to get a